Hi, and welcome to our podcast, An Engineering Odyssey with Gaff and Pats. I'm Gaff.
And I'm Pats, and we're so excited to be launching this podcast for our listeners.
This is a podcast for engineers, by engineers. Our purpose is to provide an entertaining and somewhat informative talk show, which we hope will engage our listeners.
We've decided to title this podcast An Engineering Odyssey, as Odyssey means journey, and that's exactly what we'll be bringing to you.
Odyssey sounds fancy, but hopefully nothing we tell you is mythological. So join us as we embark upon this journey, in which we'll discuss our personal experience here within engineering so far, from education through to industry and the world of work.
We don't just want to bore you by talking about ourselves all day though, we also want to know about you, the listeners, and where you are in your journey. Whether you're deciding to choose engineering as a career, or even if you're a seasoned professional. Everybody is welcome, and we hope to make it informative for all.
From tips, tricks and advice, specifically within engineering at an early educational level, through to your first steps at university and industrial experiences, we hope to provide guidance and information that will be useful.
This includes GCSEs, A-levels, the university application process, studying through university, your first glimpses into industry, and eventually working towards a chartership in your respective institute, and hopefully achieving a status as a successful and respected engineer. So that kind of sums up the podcast, but you still don't know anything about us. So Gaff, who are we?
Alright, so a bit about ourselves then. We've both recently graduated in 2018 from studying chemical engineering in the UK. That's how we got to know each other, and that's where we've established ourselves as engineers.
Along with our studies, we should probably mention that we both have industrial experience in different sectors, which we'll dive into later.
Right now, we're on different paths, as I'm studying a Masters in Energy and Environment, while Pats is currently doing an industrial placement as a postgrad.
The aim is that this allows us to cover a wide variety of topics to discuss, including education as undergrads and postgrads, as well as industrial experience during and after completing studies.
And it's this passion for engineering which has driven us to produce this podcast. We always find ourselves talking about engineering, so we thought, why not share it with everyone?
So what's in store then?
Over the next few episodes, we hope to tell you a lot more about ourselves. This includes the next chapter, in which we will discuss our early interest into engineering, and then moving on to education and the university application process, as mentioned previously.
To begin with, we hope to bring a structured format to discuss all the key topics mentioned.
Hopefully after that, we plan to make it a more open podcast, with interesting segments such as engineering news and question time, allowing our audience to engage with us.
We also have a fun, light-hearted segment to bring into the podcast which will definitely require your input. Along with that, we hope to bring guests onto the podcast to share their thoughts on specific topics.
We hope to make these chapters in our Engineering Odyssey approximately 30 minutes long, perfect for your commute to work, school or university.
So find an Engineering Odyssey on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud and Google Play.
And get in contact with us through Twitter @AnEngOdyssey, where we will also include polls for you to vote on.
Or email us at anengineeringodyssey@gmail.com for more personal inquiries or advice.
Thanks everyone for listening. I've been Gaff.
And I've been Pats.
See you next time on the next chapter of An Engineering Odyssey. God, got that one done.
Yeah, thank God that's over. We can act normal again.
Do you want to get back to eat?
Let's go.